So good day guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and this is Ask Sir Matli. How to ace the 25 most common project defense questions. So isi-share ko po sa inyo kung ano yung mga common questions that you will encounter once na nasa defense room kayo. So I have compiled some common questions you may face on your defense day and suggested answers or approach to these questions. So as usual, please enjoy this channel. So there are likely questions you may face in the defense room. Take note of these questions and suggested answers. Syempre, kailangan pa rin natin mag-research and not limiting yourself to just these questions. So first question, in few sentences, can you tell us what your study is all about? So this question is simple, right? But many committee or professors will tell you that most students get choked on question like this. To answer this question, you need to know every detail of your research project from chapter 1 to the end. Kailangan natin i-familiarize kung ano nga ba yung content na meron sa ating study. So the question needs an answer in a form of summary of entire study. So to ace this particular question, you need to know every detail in your abstract. So meron tayong part na tinatawag nating abstract, which is yung brief summary ng ating study. If you wrote a good abstract, this question will be crossover for you. Kailangan, as a researcher, tungkol saan ba yung study natin kinonduct. Siyempre, kung hindi mo alam kung anong reason or ano yung content na meron sa study mo, then mahirapan ka sagutin yung mga itatanong sa'yo ng mga committee. So, kailangan you can tell what your study is all about. And second question, what is your motivation for this study? So now, kailangan be careful kayo sa question na to. This question can be very tricky and it goes a long way in convincing your panels that your study is worth their time. So, kailangan natin malaman kung ano bang nga ba yung reason kung bakit natin kinonduct yung ating study. So, another way this question could be twisted is what is the research problem? To answer this question, you may decide to elaborate on the problem investigated in this study. So, kailangan alamin mo kung ano nga ba yung mga kailangan mong isolve in this problem and that becomes your motivation. Kailangan do not state financial reasons or wag sabihin na gumawa lang po ako ng research to pass or yung mga requirements. So, para lang makapasa sa grade 12, sa practical research 1, sa practical research 2, or sa defense sa college. So, hindi po yun yung pinakarason natin or yung motivation natin sa pag-conduct ng research. So, kailangan be careful sa mga sinasabi natin once na nasa defense room tayo. So, kailangan be careful and kailangan din elaborate natin kung ano yung mga na-investigate natin sa ating study. And third question, how will this study contribute to the body of knowledge? So, ano nga ba yung may tutulong ng study mo sa ating systematic body of knowledge? Ano yung reason or ano yung importance ng iyong study na may tutulong niya sa ating new body of knowledge? So, here, you will need to use your methods, case study, or any unique model used in the study to defend it. So, dito, i-specify mo yung conceptual framework mo or yung flow ng inyong study para mas madaling yung i-state kung ano nga ba yung contribution na may tutulong ng inyong research study. And kailangan meron itong importance na may tutulong sa ating community, sa ating school, sa ating mga student ba? And for the fourth question, what is the significance of the study? So, just like stating how your study will contribute to the body of knowledge, you will need to state the importance of your study. So, ano nga ba yung mabe-benefit na magkukuha nila sa iyong study? So, yun po yung ating significance of study. What is the significance of your study sa mga teachers, sa mga students, sa family, sa community, sa schools, sa organization, or sa others. So, depende yan sa iyong study. Pero kailangan, meron itong objectives, purpose, and significance. And for that fifth question, did you bridge any gap from your study? Every research study must have a problem. You must able to convince the committee members that your approach is unique. Sometimes, or most of the times, is makaka-encounter tayo ng mga difference problem sa ating research study. So, andyan yung limited na resources, mga limited na mga data, or mga limited na mga information, but you need to convince the committee that you have a perfect approach and there is a uniqueness of your study. So, sinasabi ko sa inyo na sa ating research study is hindi po perfect. Lahat po tayo is nakakommit ng mga error. So, meron tayong statistics part to maximize our error or minimize our errors. So, mandyan yung Sloven's formula and other approach or statistical method to help you para ma-minimize yung maraming mga errors. And number 6, question, what limitations did you encounter? So this another simple but tricky questions. Most times the question is not asked to criticize your work, but to answer this question. So kailangan yung mga methods or data analysis na techniques na ginamit nyo is hindi dapat siya bias. So we have the statistics parts na ituturo naman ng mga teachers nyo or dito rin sa channel ko. And be careful na dapat well research yung inyong mga study, na hindi lang yung create basta-basta, na yung pala is hindi naman pala na well represented o well organized. So kailangan sa ating study or sa research study, kailangan natin pagtuunan ng pansin at kailangan natin mag-focus and kailangan din natin nabigyan ng time. Hindi yung rush, hindi yung minamadali yung mga study natin. So it takes ng medyo matagal, pero magiging worth it once na na-defend mo and na-represent mo ng maayos yung inyong research study. So, use simple limitation. So, kailangan sabihin nyo lang na minsan yung mga kasama mo is hindi tumutulong or minsan kulang yung allotted resources or yung cost. So, yun yung mga limitations na sometimes na ma-encounter natin or yung mga pwede rin na yung mga members or mga participants is hindi mahanap. So, yun yung mga limitation na ma-encounter natin, na hindi naman yung mga malalang limitations, but we state yung mga common limitations or simple limitations na madalas na na-encounter natin once na nag-research tayo ng study. So, next question is, what are your findings? So, nung nag-research tayo, ito yung pinaka-importante din. Ano nga ba yung naging result ng inyong study? So, at this point, it is expected of you to present your results or findings from the study in a clear and concise manner. So, always link your findings to your research objectives or questions. So, ito yung mga problema din minsan na nagkakaroon tayo ng findings na hindi akma or related sa ating research question. So, kailangan kung ano yung mga in-state nyo mga research question, yun po yung kailangan nating sagutin sa ating results and conclusions. And of course, in discussions, and para makapag-create tayo ng recommendations. So, always link your findings to your research objectives or questions. So, this will make your panel members to easily understand and carry it along. So, next question, number 8. What methods or sampling technique did you employ? So, to answer this question, you must be familiar what your research methodology. So, we have the chapter 3 to represent kung ano yung ating research methodology. So, sa research methodology is tinitel natin yung story or yung process or steps and procedure na ginawa natin sa ating pagko-conduct ng research. So, anong klaseng research design yung ginamit mo? Kung quali ba siya? Kung quanti ba siya? Kung saan ka kumuha ng mga data information? Kung sa primary data ba, which is yung kinuha mo sa mga students, sa mga respondents, or yung mga secondary data na nakukuha sa ating internet. So, marami tayong mga way kung paano tayo makakakuha ng mga data or yung sources of our data. So, kailangan i-state natin doon kung ano rin yung sampling procedures na ginamit mo. Kung paano mo kinuha yung mga samples. Through simple random sampling ba, systematic random sampling, stratified. So, marami din tayong technique sa pagkukuha ng sampling or yung respondents, which is ituturo naman sa ating statistics part. Kung ano yung analysis of data, kung ano yung approach na ginamit natin, kung gumamit ba kayo ng Microsoft Excel, sa frequency distribution, sa bar graph, pie chart. So, ano yung trinitreat mo sa inyong data. So, kailangan ini-state nyo kung paano nyo rin kinuha yung inyong mga respondents. So, through survey questionnaire. So, dapat linalad nyo lahat sa ating research methodology. And then, number 9 is related siya sa ating 8 questions. So, why choose this method? You must also be ready and able to justify why you choose the method in convincing manner. And number 10 is based on your findings, what are your recommendations? So once na nagkaroon na po tayo ng mga summary, your findings, then ano na ngayon yung pwede mong i-recommend sa inyong study. So recommendation are very vital in every research study. So should not be joked with it. So hindi po biro yung recommendations. So yan po yung isa sa mga importante once na nagkaroon na tayo ng summary and findings. Remember then that your recommendation is based only on your conclusions and research questions. So, kailangan kung ano yung mga na-encounter nyo na mga limitations or ano pa yung mga pwede nyong i-recommend para mas gumanda pa yung study nyo for the next researchers, for the next readers, teachers, and students. So yun po yung ating recommendation. So ang recommendation is not only for the future researchers but also sa mga next na mga generation or yung mga mabe-benefit sa iyong study. So yan po yung recommendation. Nagre-recommend tayo sa community, sa government, sa mga students, sa mga respondents, or pwede rin sa mga teachers, family. So it depends kung ano yung inyong problem. So yan po yung recommendation. So yun po yung mga 10 questions that you will encounter when you are conducting or when you're representing your research study. So I have also 3 bonus questions, or ito yung mga cheap question siguro that I say bonus questions. So kung ano yung mga pwede pa nilang itanong. Pero these 3 questions is hindi naman na siya medyo tricky or malalim. So first is yung what is the scope of the study? So ano nga ba yung scope and coverage kung saan nyo kinuha yung inyong mga respondents. Kung for grade 11 lang ba, or for junior high school, or for senior high school, or for STEM student, ABM student. So yun po yung scope of the study. So siguro ito is hindi naman na siya medyo mahirap, pero at least baka makatulong itong question na to. So and for that second question, what questions do you have for the committee? So this is an opportunity to interact with your committee members and ask some constructive questions. So do not ask silly or difficult questions, as the goal should be to make the committee member feel as the boss. And I have also a bonus tips. So first, when confronted with a difficult question, adopt a strategy to make them rephrase or repeat the questions. So this will give you more time to think. So kung medyo nahirapan kayo sa questions, so pwedeng i-ask nyo or rephrase nyo yung tanong. So, sir, can you please repeat the questions? So something like that. And second, if your research project is empirical in nature or you use any statistical test or statistical tool to test hypothesis, try to know how to arrive at such conclusion. So yan po yung importante din. Yung hindi ka lang kumukuha ng mga different na statistical tools, but also paano mo i-apply yung mga statistical tools or paano ito nagiging appropriate sa inyong study. So also know how your data was analyzed and the various tools used for the analysis. So ito yung pinaka-importante sa lahat. So maraming mga na-encounter na mga researcher, mga nagdi-defend sa masteral and doctorate na hindi nila alam kung ano yung data na ginamit nila sa pag-analyze sa kanilang study or ano yung statistical tools for analysis. So be careful with that. So kailangan alam nyo din kung ano yung statistical hypothesis or test of hypothesis yung ginamit nyo or ano yung mga statistical methods you apply in your study. So be careful with that. And third tips, before your defense day, practice with your supervisor or your friends. So, pwede nyo i-present sa inyong mga kaibigan. So, i-try nyo i-practice kung okay na ba yung pag-present nyo. And make them to thrill you with likely questions. So, pwede nyo rin na friend, classmate, can you ask me some questions? So, ipina-practice mo yung sarili mo. Kung ano yung nga ba yung mga common na questions na pwedeng itanong ng inyong mga panel. So once you watch this video, so malalaman nyo kung ano nga ba yung mga ma-encounter nyo mga question, since I have also a panel or a panel member sa defense sa aming school. So sinishare ko po sa inyo yung mga knowledge ko or mga experiences and ideas na pwedeng makatulong sa inyo. So for the fourth tips, talk calmly with confidence. Do not talk too fast as they may pave a way for tension and stage fright. So kailangan mag-explain ka, mag-present ka ng mahinaon at hindi yung blah 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 blah, something like that. So hindi nila maintindihan kapag mabilis ka magsalita at doon nila napapansin na kinakabahan ka. So kailangan mahinaon at i-present mo ng maayos and clear, concise and clear. So for the fifth tips, read your project thoroughly. So, kailangan mong basahin yung mga basic definitions and terms used in the study. So, we have the definition of terms in our chapter 1. So, para malaman natin kung ano nga ba yung mga terms na medyo tricky. So, meron naman tayong way kung paano tayo mag-define ng mga terms. So, we have the operational and conceptual. So, operational kung paano natin ginamit yung terms, and kapag sinabi natin conceptual is based sa ating dictionary. And for the last tips, expand the likely questions to 50. So, feel free guys to add yours in the comment box below. So, sa ating comment sections, so pwede nyo i-suggest din or sabihin nyo mga common na mga questions na encounter nyo din na pwedeng ma-read ng ating mga viewers or mga followers. So, ayun guys, thank you for watching and I hope na nakatulong ulit po ang aking YouTube channel sa inyong lahat. So don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel.